Hello, in this video we will discuss the concept of knowledge workers. We have two main objectives. Firstly, to differentiate various types of knowledge workers and define what a knowledge worker is and its categories. And secondly, since we are talking about knowledge, to describe two important types of knowledge and how they are channeled within the organization or team. In general, the definition of knowledge workers is associated with professionals who typically have a higher education and are primarily distinguished by their use of specialized and often abstract knowledge, which allows for different interpretations and adjustments. Their main tools are mental tools such as mental models, processes or activities requiring critical thinking and contemplating different options. This type of knowledge workers isn't used to do manual labor or use manual skills. This is the main cornerstone of the definition, which implies that knowledge serves as both the input that fuels the work of these professionals and the medium through which they work. Additionally, the outcome or result of the problem is also a product of knowledge. The information needed to accomplish tasks is knowledge, the mental models employed are knowledge models, and the outcomes achieved are results of knowledge. This is what defines this type of professionals. These types of jobs often involve a certain level of autonomy, or at least have stages or moments where individuals work with relative autonomy before connecting with the team. This can be related to how the processes of interaction and interfaces between individual and collective aspects are generated. Basically, we can identify two main types of knowledge workers. The first type will be the creative individuals. This type of person or worker generates knowledge by developing new processes, creating new products, providing new services, or implementing organizational changes. They utilize knowledge to investigate current situations, analyze collected data, and generate alternative ideas or proposals. Then, all of this information is transformed into plans or projects for implementation. This is closely linked to innovation and creating new paths to solve problems, as you might have guessed. Therefore, it represents stages strongly connected to the innovation process. The other major category of knowledge professionals, which may sound less glamorous, comprises individuals who focus on well-known processes. This type of workers is known as the executor or operational individual. The operations with which they work are complex but with a well-known structure. In other words, they are predictable with defined stages and established methods. While some minor uncontrolled aspects may arise, the operational workers possess the ability to resolve them as they occur since they are structured problems. We are familiar with these challenges, having encountered them numerous times, and we have operating standards in place. Despite their complexity, when something slightly deviates from the norm, we can redirect it to align with our established workflow without the need to launch a new project or revolutionize the way things are done. These are the main characteristics of the second major category of knowledge professionals. As we have been discussing knowledge, I would like to explore how these two types of knowledge professionals work. Both creators and executors, individuals who generate or execute, are working with knowledge. It is important to differentiate between two major types of knowledge that emerge within teams and organizations. One is tacit knowledge, which encompasses the accumulated awareness, insights, and intuitions gained through personal experience. This experience is nurtured by training, trying things out, interacting with others, other processes, and other resources. Tacit knowledge primarily resides within individuals. On the other hand, there is explicit knowledge, which is formalized, codified, and articulated. It is often presented in the form of rules, procedures, organization manuals, routines, stages, ceremonies, or standardized operating procedures, also known as SOPs, commonly found in organizations. The fundamental challenge for organizations, particularly for teams, is to develop, extract, and transfer tacit knowledge and, as much as possible, convert it into explicit knowledge, which is easier to transmit to others. This process needs to be continuous, as we are constantly developing, transforming, transferring, and converting knowledge. The goal is to make the tacit and implicit knowledge held by individuals usable by the team and the organization as a whole in terms of problem solving and solution implementation. I believe that at this point, we have been able to describe and differentiate different types of knowledge workers, as well as describe the essential types of knowledge they work with.